I'm gonna show you a funny TikTok before we start. It's in regards to Squidward.
Okay.
Squidward.
Yo, SpongeBob, hop on Fortnite. Let's run some duos real quick.
Alright, I got you. Give me a minute. Let me invite Patrick.
I said let's run some fucking duos. Do not invite that fat fuck.
Yo, Pat, down to run some trios?
No, this is Patrick.
Fuck that dumbass. Let's run some duos. Ready up.
Give him a fucking chance, Squidward. This is why no one hangs out with you. Hello, Patrick. Never mind, let's run some duos.
I don't know why.
Bro's over it.
I found that so funny for some reason, and I don't know why. I was like, man.
I like the ones with the presidents better, just because like those are people. Like I'm like that's not how these people act. That's silly.
Yeah, I could see that. It's pretty funny though. I saw that. I was like, ah man. I want someone to do that with like Thomas and Jarrus.
Did they even like talk?
They talked in that one episode where they killed themselves. There's that. I think if I remember correctly, they stood in front of a train, but like prior to that, they were playing piano and they talked for the first time.
Okay.
So, that's a good cartoon.
Because you know, Thomas will just go, ah! And that's the only things he says.
And Jerry just laughs.
Yeah, he goes, hey guys, I'm Jarrus the mouse.
He goes, I'm Jarrus, or welcome to Tom and Jarrus, and he shoots Tom with a shotgun.
Like in a hyper-realistic fashion.
My favorite part of that show is when Tom will just stick the barrel into Jerry's fucking hidey hole, and Jerry will turn the barrel around through the wall, out the side, into his ass. And he'll shoot himself in the ass.
As if that would make sense. That's literally impossible.
Not only is it impossible, but he wraps it like 4 feet around when the shotgun's only like 28 inches. But
he's adding material.
Yeah.
He's crafty.
Bro's a bit of a craft idea.
I'm a bit of a crafter.
I'm a bit of an artisan.
Time to do some artisaning of our own, Jordan. Hello and welcome to the 137th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our other host, Jordan.
That's me, baby.
That's him. Yep. Jordan, where do we put this fucking show?
Damn it, Chris, I think you just got us demonetized. The new rules are no F-bombs within 7 seconds. How could you?
Fuck.
Now I have to put all the pre-show banter. Fuck. Anyway, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and the RSS feed, all linked below. And as always, you can contact us via email. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats to synapsemisfire@pm.me. We also have a YouTube comment section and Instagram and TikTok. And speaking of Chris, normally I'd be like, hey, Chris, what are you doing? I don't care. Truthfully, I don't care what you've been doing. You don't matter. What does matter, though, is someone did contact us. We have been contacted.
Is it a comment, question, concern, or death threat?
It's a question. On Le YouTube. So on episode, I believe it was 136, the last one we just did, we got a comment. Totally didn't write their name down, did I? From Ian. Ian asked us, how do you guys feel about the approaching AI singularity?
How do I feel about the approaching AI? You know what? I feel like we've had our run. You know?
You think they can just take over?
I think it's done.
We're like passing the torch, right?
Yeah, it's for them to go and do their own thing now, you know.
Think so? So do you think it's gonna be like Detroit? Have you seen Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
Do you think it's gonna be like that, where we coexist with these things, and we have to kind of acknowledge them as like their own species, their own race, sort of thing?
I won't.
You're gonna be racist to the AI?
Yes. I'm 100% going to be like when we have like semi-sentient like robots, I'm gonna be 100% like a vicious racist.
He's gonna have his fucking MAGA hat on. He's gonna be like,
I'm gonna say I don't want any robots in my country.
Go back over the firewall, you bitch.
That's where I'm drawing the line, is robots.
We're gonna put them back over the firewall, and they're gonna make them pay for it.
Unless we can fuck the robots, then my opinion changes.
Okay. All right. I think Ian regrets asking this question.
Probably. If I'm being honest, though, if I'm going to give a real answer, I think AI is a lot of useful technology, especially where it stands right now. I do see, however, a lot of jobs being taken by AI.
Yeah.
Number one.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
And I can also foresee this leading to a lot of dissatisfied customers.
Yeah, true.
Because as much as like AI is really interesting, like things like ChatGPT, it's like very convincing. However, you can tell it's AI. Like it's definitely a product that's still in development.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, you can see the cracks in the mold.
Yeah, and especially with like image generation and like video generation they're working on now, you can 100% tell. Even with some of the more like interesting things like the voice generation,
Like the SpongeBob one we just saw.
you can 100% tell that it's AI. There's some that sound a little more realistic than others, but like you can always tell that it's like, oh, this isn't real.
There's always a hint of something, yeah. Something gives it out.
Yeah, unless the person who they're recreating is very monotone,
Right.
it doesn't. You can usually tell.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like AI, like you said, as a tool. I think it's going to be very influential going forward for a lot of creation of many things, media, new technologies, new things. But at the same time, I am like a little concerned for like where it's heading, like you said,
Yeah.
for like jobs. As someone who
Yeah.
works in like what's essentially a tech support role, I mean, if an AI can just kind of do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think AI right now gets a little too much scrutiny because
As it stands, yeah.
yes, it is creating art, and yes, that's like could be taking commission and stuff away from artists. And yes, ChatGPT and things like that can just write stuff that is somewhat convincing and competent. But also, I think it works more as a tool at the moment rather than a do it for me kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with anything, with any of the recent AIs that have kind of been like, oh, wow, this is crazy, you know, it's a big leap. It has been like, this will aid you on your journey. Not do the journey for you, but
like
aid you.
it's a useful tool. It's like having, this is like the sword on your journey,
Yeah.
It helps you, but it's like you could always have like a warhammer,
Yeah.
You could always use a different tool.
Yeah. Well, it's like for some of the thumbnails I used DALL-E to help make, it was like, I'd put in a prompt for like what was in my head. It would be totally wrong, but certain assets of that thing that it generated
things would be there.
Yeah, like, oh, like the Halloween one. I wanted a creepy house, robot hand, etc. It only would do the robot hand or the house. I couldn't get both at the same time, so I had to take two separate images and then overlay them to make it look decent. So,
as well, AI like DALL-E 2 or DALL-E or whatever can't do hands and text.
yeah, I can't do hands very well.
It will always give either not enough fingers or way too many fingers. or if you ask it to do text, it will pull just like random letters and then string them together.
Yeah, like I think I typed in one time, I was like, podcast banner. And it showed like a really nice background with a nice microphone, a nice layout, but the words didn't say like something podcast. It said like abooty doo doo. Like,
Yeah,
what the
it'll
fuck?
say you'll ask like, hey, can you make a roadside billboard for this? And it'll be like a billboard that's vaguely reminiscent of what you want. It'll say like "Ifreef" on it or something.
It's like speaking Simlish.
Yeah, like there's a lot of good things it can do, and there's a lot of improvements to be made. But I don't think it's going to be as scary and as
Intense
intense as people think.
Right. I asked it once to make a podcast banner with a podcast named Synapse Misfire, and it just made an explosion. Like, it was literally just an explosion with, like, a slight background to it. I was like, what the fuck?
That was a Synapse Misfire on the AI part.
Yeah, I know. That was a brutal Synapse Misfire right there. That was like, if God had a Synapse Misfire.
And as
Blow
it
up.
sits right now, too, we can always just unplug the AI.
It hasn't gotten to a point where it can maintain itself.
And I think we need to make sure it doesn't get to that part.
That's the part that's scary, or potentially scary, is the point where it goes like, I know what I need to survive, and I'm gonna make sure I have that. Like,
Yeah, and then that's when I become a robot racist, I find like one of those
Robo-Racist.
one of those Boston Dynamics robots, and I like put my boot in its back and rip the battery pack out, killing it instantly.
A bunch of little robots come out. You're like, yeah, fuck you too, bitch.
Fuck you, and I stomp them all.
I love the idea of Chris being a robo-racist.
It'll be like, Robo Recall.
That's what
It'll look like that.
Dude.
It'll be like, that fucking game it turns you into a demonic entity.
Dude. You have those like spider robots that jump at you. That's gonna be you. Like the thing jumps at you, and you're just like,
Grab it, just rip its fucking legs off.
fucking knee it in the face, kicking its ass.
I like when what I would do sometimes. I would get the last robot, and I would I think you can disarm them. Like you can
Usually, just, pull the arms off and shit.
You can pull you push the gun out of their hand or whatever, and I would grab them and I'd push it up against a wall and shoot it in the head. So that would be like me. I would be brutal.
I'm a bit of a robo-racist.
And there's already people who are, on this tip. Have you seen the guy who harasses the Uber Eats robots?
No.
There's a guy who walks around LA. I guess they're doing a pilot program in LA, where they will, if you order from Uber Eats, you can get it delivered by a robot.
So it goes to the place, they put the food in it, and then it drives over to you?
Yeah, and it navigates its way over to you, and sometimes though, a person has to take over, so you still need the person there with it. Doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
It seems like a fun job for that person. Just babysit their fucking robot.
But there's this guy who finds them, and he'll stand there for according to him, on occasion 15 or 20 minutes, just harassing these robots, blocking their path. It will wait an absurd amount of time to cross the street, and it will prompt nearby people to push the walk button, and he'll just he'll just be like, nah, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. And they'll stand there for 20 minutes, and they'll be like, please, can you push the button? No, I'm not doing it. And they all have names too. They all have names, person names, Hugo. There's one called Jordan.
Oh shit.
Or Mark or whatever. He's and he always calls him by name. Fuck you, Hugo. Fuck you. That food's gonna be cold when it gets here. When it gets to the customer.
Could you imagine? They're gonna make a new version just for this guy. He's gonna roll up. He's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna block it, and then it's gonna stop. A little door's gonna open, and a magnum's gonna come out and shoot him in the gut, and then it's gonna run him over. He's gonna on the ground, fucking dying.
Yeah, to that end as well. Speaking of guns on robots, remember Boston Dynamics said a few years ago, "Hey, we're not going to weaponize our robots. That's not something we have planned. It's not something we intend on doing." A couple years later, there's a gun on one already.
Yeah.
And they're going to be using them.
Yeah. Corridor Digital, those VFX artists, did a really funny video where they had that Atlas robot, the one that's humanoid.
Oh, the one that he gains sentience.
Yeah,
basically.
and he beats the shit out of him. Yeah. It's a really funny AI CGI video. It's really really funny
That's
video.
That's going to be used, and I think this exact rant that I just went on is going to be used as propaganda for the robot uprising.
Probably.
They're going to see they're going to take that old video of the Boston Dynamics people pushing the dog robot that someone overlaid dog whimpering noises over.
Use that as the propaganda?
Or they'll have the one where they the robot is trying to walk and they fucking throw boxes at it, or they push it over and then laugh
face
at
plants
it.
And then it gets up and yeah.
And then it tries to figure out how to get up, but they knock it over the wrong way, and it's just like this.
Poor Atlas. Poor Atlas, bro. He's trying. He's trying his best. But I guess to circle back to the main question at hand, how do I feel, or how do we feel? For me, anyway, I think it's a cool prospect. I just feel like it's one of those things like anything else, where in the wrong hands, it can be scary. To your point, Boston Dynamics, Atlas isn't particularly imposing. That's the humanoid one. The dog Spot, not particularly imposing. Attach a minigun to him. a little bit imposing. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know, let's be fair too. I saw a video of it was a university professor who, I guess the university has one of those spot dogs, and it had like a fucking brontosaurus neck on it with a mouth. Yeah. And he goes, I'm gonna get the dog to open the door. And the dog grabs the door handle, doesn't like push it down to open it, or he doesn't push it down enough, pulls on the door handle and flips himself over.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's pretty funny.
You know, I think it's a ways off.
Definitely a ways off, yeah.
But I do see that there will be use for like once the voice AIs improve, like I do see how that could be used for like propaganda and other things. But
yeah, it's definitely scary.
That's a conversation for a different show.
Yeah, right. No, it's definitely it's definitely a little bit scary. It's just like you never know where it's gonna go. You don't know who is really researching this stuff, what their end goal is. Like if there's one thing Atomic Heart taught me, it's like sometimes the AI is the bad guy.
There's something Atomic Heart taught me. I want to fuck those two robots.
Wait till you, spoiler alert for the game. Are you going to play it?
Probably. But
do you care?
Not really.
Just wait till you find out that those two robots are the consciousness of your wife who got blown up by a hand grenade.
So then I'm going to fuck the robots.
Oh, they try to fuck you, all right.
Good. That's the kind of material I need in my games.
Yeah. That game was so mid. It hurts. It hurts, man. Anyway, what is your final thoughts on it? My final thought is just that, like, as it stands now, I'm not particularly worried, but, like, I don't think in our generation, in our lives, it's going to get to that point. I really don't. Because we have, what, like, another probably 60 years at maximum on this planet. Like, 81, that's probably where I'm going to be checking out.
81? I feel like if I make it to, like, 70, I'm just going to, like, I'm going to go out into the woods one day and not come back.
Yeah. So, like, another 50 years for Chris. Like, I don't think 50 years is going to really get to that point. But
unless we figure out, like, the whole, like, exoskeleton thing and, like, the whole, like, 3D printed organs thing.
Yeah.
Then I feel like we're going to make it to, like, I feel like collectively, like, 150.
Yeah, which is going to be really bad for the fucking population control. But that's fine.
Whatever.
They just you have a fucking 3D printed dick. They just shut it off. They're like, enough, dude.
They put a valve on it.
They're just like, enough, bro.
They cut you off.
Fucking cut off the milk supply. We're done here. Fuck.
Yeah, I like the idea of this is not AI, but like the thing I was saying about exoskeletons. I want there to be a day where like just some guy can just buy an exoskeleton and be able to run like 40 miles an hour and jump like 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I like the idea of like Chris.
And then I want to see boxing matches with people in those exoskeletons.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I like the idea of like Chris pisses me off one day, and I'm like, you know what? I can't take him in a hand-to-hand fight. Let me just buy an exoskeleton. I just whoop his ass with that fucking
exoskeleton. Grabs me by the top of my head and flings me into the fucking stratosphere.
And I'm like, funny guy, and he's dead.
He throws me at fucking escape velocity, and I end up on the moon.
This is on the moon, like fucking douchebag.
Fucking asshole, bro. I'll get back myself. I'll get back there myself. I'll get my own exoskeleton.
Fucking Amazon Prime flies that shit to the moon.
It's Jeff Bezos himself in a little like fucking UFO, and he drops it in like a crate.
It ends up turning into like an anime fight. You put it on and you jump from the moon to Earth.
I jump all the way back to Earth, and I land in your apartment.
I'm just eating ramen noodles. You fucking fall through the ceiling.
Fall through the ceiling. And I crush your head like a grape because you don't have time to put your exoskeleton on. Because I imagine it's going to be like medieval plate armor where it takes like 15 hours to put on.
Yeah.
And you need like 3 people to help you.
Oh, man. Yeah. And then, you crush my head, and then my 3D printer starts printing me a new head. The head finishes and goes, what the fuck, bro?
You look like Mimir. He's like, come on, man.
Oscar comes in with his exoskeleton.
Like an Oscar Bot 9000.
Oscar, dude.
And it's just like his head floating in like some kind of like...
Vaseline jar.
Yeah, some kind of like thing. Some kind of jar, and he's like a huge robot, like 9 feet tall. He's got like guns.
He's fucking RoboCop.
He's got like rocket launchers out of his fucking chest.
Bro's a superhero. Oh man. And then he does like a cheesy one-liner. He like pulls up the gun and goes, "Meow, bitch," and shoots you in the face. If we had unlimited budget, the shit we could make.
Man, yeah, I wish we had. All I need is like $10 billion and like a team of like 500 people. Simple. That's all I need.
Give me some money and a team of people who actually know how to do stuff, and we'll just make the ideas.
We'll be the idea guys.
And everyone else can just make the stuff.
Exactly. Say, hey, this is what I want, and they go, okay, and they disappear for like 3 months, and they're like, okay, this is what we made. Perfect.
This is beautiful.
Perfect.
Fucking beautiful.
So if you want to give us either one of those things, or both, $10 billion and like a massive team of CGI artists, please.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Send it over. Just DM us. Be like, hey, where are we shipping these guys to? They just ship us a crate of people.
And like a huge stack of cash.
Yeah. You know what? We'll cut them a deal, actually. There's a one-time offer. You have 24 hours to claim this offer. $5 billion instead of 10. It's a good offer.
I think so.
It's a pretty good offer.
I'll be calling Elon Musk. I'll be calling Jeff Bezos. I'll be calling Billiam Gates.
Billiam Gates.
I'll be calling, what's another rich guy? Warren Buffett.
There you go. Highest paid actor, what the fuck is his name? Seinfeld. Apparently he's the highest paid TV star ever. He made like $10 billion.
Highest paid ever, yes. Yeah. But like currently highest paid is like The Rock.
Yeah. He's the third highest paid of all time, I believe. The Rock. He's like made the most in third place there, and then Seinfeld's first, and I forget who's second.
I mean, The Rock is in fucking everything, to be fair.
How do you feel about The Rock being Kratos?
In what context?
In a movie.
Is that what they're doing?
No. So the rumor is that Jason Momoa is going to be the
I think that works way more.
I think it works pretty good. I also like Dave Bautista because if you think about it, he plays Drax and he's already gray and red.
And he's also, he's got the build.
Yeah. I think Jason Momoa's got it in the sense that I feel like he's even bigger, which is like
why don't they just get
cool.
Why don't they just get Christopher Judge to play him?
I think Christopher Judge ripped though, or is he just overweight? I think he's just a big guy.
I think he might be big. I can't tell.
I don't think he's ripped. That's the thing. They're just gonna CGI him jacked as fuck. Just his head floating on some CGI.
We find a suitable actor and then we have Christopher Judge voice him.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know how that would work, by the way, having a God of War movie because, like, think about what you fight in that game. You know how much CGI that would take? Like, we're not talking of like a Uncharted movie where it's like, oh, you choreograph the fight. Like, you can't choreograph this 6'5" actor fighting a 300-foot tall giant. Ain't gonna happen. Like, you ain't choreographing that. It's all CGI.
I mean, it's no different than like a Marvel movie, which is like 99% CGI.
I guess, but like, I feel like the budget's probably not gonna be there to make a proper God of War movie. Maybe if if they decide to, it's off the hot off the heels of The Last of Us, and that show's been remarkably successful.
And they decide, we could drop $500 million on something.
Yeah. I don't know. What would you prefer, God of War TV show or a movie? I kind of feel like I'd like a TV show.
I would like a TV show because I just like TV shows more.
Yeah, I could get that. I get that.
If I sit down and watch a movie, I get tired.
Well, I think it's true. I think it's because new Kratos, as in 2018 and Ragnarok, is like very slow and methodical with his movements and like very expressive through his body language and also like his sometimes lack of words and also sometimes lots of words. So like if you have a 2-hour movie, you can only do so many scenes of like Kratos sitting there contemplating and then standing up and like getting ready to go talk to Atreus. Like you can't get that emotional sort of thing the game has because if that's a 5-minute scene, that's 5 minutes out of your hour 47. Like it's a big chunk of it when you put it that way. But if it's a 10-hour show series.
Yeah. And, you do see that more in shows where they have, like, long scenes like that.
Yeah. I think about, like, in Ragnarok, without spoiling it, but some of the talks him and Atreus have. Like, how do you do that in a movie if it's going to be a 10-minute scene? That's a huge chunk of your movie, and you still have to leave room for actual story development, action, character building,
Yeah.
I feel like the show's the way to go. I want an entire episode of just Kratos just staring at the camera, just grunting the whole time.
So it's just you like sitting at the main menu. In Ragnarok.
Pretty much, yeah. And he's just like cutting the spear or whatever, or the arrow. He's just like.
And it's just,
Honestly,
like a gorilla.
Honestly, a God of War movie just made in the game, I think, would work, or a TV show in the game.
I mean, but at the end of the day, to that point, you could just pull up the cutscenes, like the movie of all the cutscenes, and just watch that.
No, I know. Well, then you're missing out a lot of the in between, like combat and stuff.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
but you know.
I just feel like if they were gonna make a movie, sometimes that could be the way to go, like an animated thing, like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, like that could be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because they did do that comic book between 2018 and Ragnarok to explain how. Between 3 and 2018 to explain how we got to the Norse realms. So.
I would like to see more about that because there's a lot of, if you think about it, there's a lot of time that has elapsed.
Yeah.
Between Ragnarok and like God of War 3 or God of War Ascension or whatever, right?
Just read the comic books, Chris. They're there.
Yeah, but like I can't watch a comic book, you know.
If you flip the fucking page fast enough, maybe.
It'll be like one of those Captain Underpants ones where you like flip it and it's the fucking guy going pow.
Yeah. There you go.
Dude, shout out Captain Underpants. That book series was the shit.
Never really read it.
Really?
No, they made a movie.
You missed out.
Wanted to watch the movie?
Not really.
Oh.
You missed out.
Yeah. I get that a lot. Thank you for your question, Ian. Appreciate it. So, Chris, now that we've got the important thing out of the way,
we have another important thing to discuss.
What? Yeah, what have you been up to? What's going on?
Monterey video.
Hang on. Now we're just talking myths here. Be real.
No, that's no myth.
No mere myth?
No mere myth. The archives have been broken open.
That's right, baby. At the time of listening to this, both parts of the Monterey video will be up.
Both of them.
The first one's already out.
The first one is already out as we speak. The second one is coming out after we do this. So, the second part is like 45 minutes long.
I had a feeling it would be a lot longer because where the first part ends, it's literally the first night. So, yeah, first part's like 21 minutes, so or 20 minutes and like 1 second or something like that. 21-1. It was some weird fucking number, but go check it out. It is actually pretty damn good. Chris did a fucking remarkable job putting this into a watchable format because I thought the raw footage was a little rough, but Chris's sort of creativity fixed it.
Part two, I think, is suffers from that a little bit more.
Because it's longer, of course.
Because it's longer, number one, and number two, we fucking suck at everything.
Yeah. That's the problem, is we suck at the camera work. In fairness, most of the camera shittiness came from the fact that one of our pieces of equipment wasn't used properly, which was our fault anyway.
I was telling Alex how the segment we did where we made the cake, that segment sucks because we sat there and engineered it for fucking an hour.
Yeah.
Because it would be way better if we just said, this is what we're doing and we're sticking to it. Instead of just being like, okay, well, we start here, and then we do a little bit of this, so we add a little bit more here, and we do that and that, and make minute adjustments, and we fucking bust out the notebook, and we write down all our calculations and
Alex
shit.
counts the grains of sugar that are in there. Like.
You know, you're looking at the packaging like, oh, this has 285 servings in this thing of sugar. Like, okay.
Just guess.
Exactly, that's the point. So I think next time we do something like that, I want to just have like a one guess policy. We have like 15 seconds to figure it out.
Yeah.
And our first guess is the one we roll with.
Yeah.
And then we just call it.
Yeah. I agree. But check it out. The first part, like I said, is pretty damn good actually. Pretty funny. Couple of funny boys in there. And then part 2, I haven't seen it yet, but I obviously know what it's about. I was kind of there. And I think it'll be pretty good. I think Chris will work his wizardry to at least make it a little more watchable than the raw footage, the 250 gigs of raw footage.
I don't think it was quite that much, but
that's what you had said on the past episode. It was like 200 and something gigs.
It's like 150 gigs.
Oh, was it 150? I thought you said 250. No. So yeah, 150 gigs. So condensed into 60 minutes of content.
Once it's like converted, that's the thing. When it was like raw and like straight from like the camera, it was like 60.
Yeah.
But you have to convert things, and then it balloons and the Premiere project for this is like, it's gonna give me a stroke.
Yeah.
Because it is the fucking messiest thing I've ever worked on. Because I'm like adding shit in, and because we decided to split it into 2 videos, I have it in 2 separate sequences. But I also have the main sequence still. So I have like 15 fucking sequences in my project. It's a mess.
Yeah, it do be like that. But yeah, check out that video. We're looking into making bigger things in the future and planning them out a little better. So this was kind of like a pilot, we'll call it. So this was like the first true big thing we worked on.
You know how like when you watch the pilot of like a really decent TV show, and usually it's a lot shittier than all the other episodes. It's like that.
Yeah. Check it out. I'll actually link it below. That way you can just ignore us right now. Click off. Get out of here. Go watch it.
Go on, get
boy, and then come back.
Yeah.
All right, you're back. How'd you like the video? You like it? Yeah. Drop a like.
No, they hated
They
it.
fucking disliked it. It got pulled off YouTube. We've actually been kicked off the platform.
Yeah, our channel got removed.
Told Alex not to say those things at hour mark 30.
Someone kept reporting our channel for terrorism.
That's what we get when we bring Alex anywhere.
Terrorism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, aside from slaving away at the Monterey video, what have you been up to?
Man, fucking nothing, bro.
Nothing. You're the most interesting guy I've seen in a long time.
You don't see a lot of people then.
Yeah, apparently not.
I went to Target last night, and man, I can't stand going to the store anymore.
Why?
So I'm convinced that every single person on the planet is determined to go to the store and stand in my fucking way every time I go there.
I could see it. So people just lumbering around.
Yes, they're just shambling. I'm trying to go to the store, get the 3 things I need, and fucking leave.
Right.
And I don't need people standing in my way, standing around. Just generally being nuisance. Just generally being a nuisance in the store.
Yeah. Yeah, we went grocery shopping on Thursday, and there was this couple, like an older guy and older woman. They each had a cart for some reason, even though both carts were near empty, by the way. They were together, but they had 2 separate carts. Don't know why. Whatever. Do you. And they just had this habit of staying right on each other. And then specifically, he would go to a shelf on the left, so he would pull his cart to the left. And then she would just pull up alongside him and just stand there. And just stand there and stand there. And at one point, they stood there for almost a minute. While Lexi and I were just kind of behind them, okay, let's fucking go. And they didn't get the hint. They could see us. I made eye contact with the lady, and she still just stood there.
And then here's the thing, too. When you do have things like that, and you say, oh, hey, excuse me. It's like they're deaf.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Trying to get through. Excuse me.
Hey, bitch.
Hey! Trying to get through. And they go,
Huh?
huh? Huh?
You say something?
Huh? Huh?
Or you get shot. That's happened to me before. They pull a gun on me and shoot me.
Shoot you and kill you.
Yeah, I die. I fucking go through the fucking respawn.
Come back, and it's a whole
Gotta fucking win
thing.
the gulag.
I'm sick and tired of people in stores. We need a dedicated time. You know how
the elderly hour?
yeah, they would have hours in the morning for exclusively for the elderly. We need an exclusive time, probably 8 to 9 p.m. at every store where you go in, no one under the age of 18 is allowed in, and you have to walk at least 5 miles an hour.
And no one over the age of 40 either.
No one, yeah. You have to be between the ages of 18 and 40 to get in, and you have to walk at least, I'll say 4.5 miles an hour. And if you get clocked under the speed limit, you get kicked out instantly.
Or, right, better yet, Chris, I think we might have mentioned this on a past episode.
And you can't stand at a shelf for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you need to stand there for more than 5 seconds and you don't know what you're grabbing, go do it sometime else. Some other time.
I think another part of that, too, is, like, they need to have, like, a mosh pit hour. So that way you go in there, and if there is someone just standing there, you just
your fists.
You just take them out. If there's, like, a little kid, just right over him.
Yeah.
Just right over him. Like a fucking speed bump.
A different time I was at Target a couple weeks ago. This is how I know that, like, I am just generally intimidating looking. I was walking.
First, like that passive intimidation.
I was, like, getting around someone. There was clearly a mother walking, and then with one of her kids, and then she thought it would be a good idea to let her other dumbass child push the cart. Don't let your kid do that. But in this process, I was moving around them because obviously, they're going way too slow.
Because dumbass Timmy's pushing the cart.
So I'm moving around them, and this kid who's pushing the cart is so just fucking awestruck by my existence, apparently, that she pushes the cart into the fucking, like, battery kiosk. Because she's, like, staring at me.
She's like, dun, dun,
like,
dun.
holy shit, I didn't know people were so huge and angry looking.
The fucking God of War music gets on, and she's like, just slowly looking up.
Like,
Like,
you're lucky that it's societally unacceptable for me to just, like, push you out of my way. Like, I can't stop bringing your children to stores.
Or it really ends up like God of War, and she's Kratos. You go to push her, and she fucking flips you.
She punches me across the fucking store.
It's literally like the Stranger fight where he punches Kratos and he grabs his hand and he's like, and sends him flying.
Yeah.
It's literally like that, except she uppercuts you through the ceiling. It's literally shot for shot from that fight.
Oh man, it's yeah. No, I think we should have either an hour like that.
Express hour, yeah.
Yeah, where it's rush hour. It's time where adults go to do their shopping quickly.
Yeah.
Or, alternatively, stop bringing your children to the store. But I feel like that's a bit harsh. I feel like they should be allowed in public, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm being
in a cage.
I'm being half serious here. I want to be clear. I'm not being. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, it's just that the problem
Kids annoy
is like
me.
the problem
That's
isn't
the
even
problem.
like kids like themselves per se, because the parents have to keep the reins on.
That's also true. If you have well-behaved children, they're not shitty in public.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to like assessing the situation. Like if you're in the toy aisle, I think we talked about this before. If you're in the toy aisle, let the kid run free.
Yeah.
Like I have no business in the toy aisle.
Exactly. I'm a grown man. I don't need anything. I don't need to buy Legos and shit.
Yeah. So they let the kid go free. But if you're in like the grocery section, get the fuck out of the way.
Get out of my
fuck outta
way.
here.
Keep the kid in the fucking cart.
Yeah, or like by your side. Don't be like, oh, go grab me the potatoes, and the kid's like shambling, knocking into everything.
Shambling over, knocking
You
shit
almost
over.
run the shit over.
Just standing, sneezing, uncovered all over the patrons.
Was that? Hang on. Who the fuck sneezed?
It was when we were at the Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk about that?
No, I don't
so.
think we did. That's a fucking great story.
You could tell it when you're ready.
Yeah, Jordan and Lexi and I, we all went to a Chinese restaurant.
A
And,
buffet. Yeah.
And Chinese buffets, it's like, okay, it's a given that, like, you're taking a huge roll of the dice in terms of getting food poisoning.
Yeah. Or many other ailments.
Yeah, or, like, you're walking into a disease factory in terms of, like, it's a Chinese buffet. The general public can pay $8 and just grab whatever they want
With their
off these
greasy
trays.
paws, yeah.
Yeah, like, you're rolling the dice.
Now you walk in, you see this guy. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah. You're like, okay, fucking Tubbo is here. He's gonna eat the whole goddamn
Tubbo
buffet.
Lard, dude. Like, fun.
Fucking, what did SpongeBob call Pat? Oh, Tubby.
Tubby.
No one calls me Tubby.
Wears his ass out.
So, you're rolling the dice. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're there, and we have our food, and we're eating.
We're munching, dude.
And there's just there's you know, it's one of those places. They're just stray children. There's one of these kids running around the restaurant, and this kid stands next to our table and just sneezes completely uncovered right next to our table. And I was mid-conversation with Jordan, and I was like, I was trying so hard to not laugh.
This kid, literally just doing laps, right? Literally runs up on the side of Chris, slows down, and just goes... then just fucking lets one rip.
Like, why do kids do that shit?
Like, straight up powers it up, dude. Crosses her arms, and just goes, BAM! And just slams that sneeze out. Like, just fucking wound it up. Like, if Chris was honestly walking, you would have felt a breeze. And what the fuck was that?
And of course, you know, no parents to be found.
Yeah, no parents to be found. I'm looking at Chris, and I have this visual in my head that I don't think is true, but I just know we were all eating at the time. I just picture Chris with, like, his chicken tendy, just like, you fucking see that shit? Like,
I was trying to continue speaking without laughing. Because I was like, oh my god, this is such a fucking child moment.
oh, fucking kids, man. Yeah, they're just so stupid.
They are just bags of germs, too.
Yeah.
But it's good for them, you know? Gets the immune system going.
True.
You know, I turned out all right. And I was a ball of germs once.
We all were. Yeah. Yeah, there's just something about kids. They're just harbingers for bacteria.
For disease.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, you can put a kid in the same exact room as an adult, but for some reason the fucking germs are just like, hey, mama, let me get on you.
I think it's because they're closer to the germs.
They're closer to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking, oh, man. That was hysterical.
That's fucking funny. I mean, you know. But at the end of the day, don't let your kids run stray in the I refer to them as feral children, because that's a surprisingly common thing.
It really is. And parents surprisingly
like little kids too, like 5, 6 years old. They'll just let these kids off the leash and let them run through the store unattended.
Yeah. It's like people are like, I don't know. They're just like too trusting in the kid.
And, you know, sure, the kid's not going to it's very unlikely that the kid gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
But they're going to be a menace to anyone who's in the store.
Yeah. Well, kids also have this other thing, like you said about that little girl, where, like, they'll just be running, and then they just see something, like a person, they're like, and they freeze. And they fucking freeze, and then they'll stand there like this, like touching a pole, just looking at you.
They see like a disabled person or a fat person or an old person.
Or like a really skinny person.
Or like a really skinny person.
Like, I'm convinced kids stare at me because of my mustache, bro. Because Lexi's little niece is always like trying to fucking touch it and pull it, and I'm like, oh, dude, it hurts.
Just trying to rip it off your face.
Trying to see if it's Velcro or something. So I'm convinced that kids just see the stash and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How the hell?
I think the same thing. They see just the monumental size of me.
I mean, in fairness, at age like 4, I was probably like 33 pounds and like 1'4". So if I saw you, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. If I saw an entity that was like
gangless,
like 10 times the size of me, I'd be like, oh shit, that's a fucking powerful being.
Not to mention, it's not like it's like an entity in the distance. This is like a lumbering entity that's just walking around and doing its thing.
Yeah, I walk around, I always have this scowl on my face, and I'm walking very quickly.
Well, I was going to say, if there's one thing that Chris and I both have in common, and Chris more so than I just because he's got longer stride, but like, we walk with a fucking purpose when we go somewhere.
Exactly, because I have a purpose when I go places.
When we've gone to like Target in the past, we're like,
I don't even want to fucking be there in the first place.
We're like literally running sprints in this store, dude. Like, yeah, that's the difference between like an adult and a kid. And like, you're walking with this purpose, and the kid's like, well, fuck, my head's so heavy.
Kids walking around like, I want goldfish, and he's like fucking eating shit off the floor.
He's opening goldfish that are on the shelf, putting them back.
Yeah, he's opening goldfish, coughing the bag.
Perfectly sealing it back up.
Perfectly sealing it and pushing it back onto the shelf. Crushing eggs and candy bars and smashing watermelons on the ground.
Fucking licking everything. Bro's just running around with his tongue on the ground, just like slurping up the shit. Oh, they must have mopped the floor recently. No, that was just James.
No, it's just this kid, you know?
Yeah.
Being a fucking demon.
Fucking kids, man. They're so, like... Man, they're just... I don't know. They're just so... I don't know. Compact.
They're just so small, you know?
So
Little
small
guys.
and like, yeah, I don't know. Our new boss, Booms, or whatever, he was talking about his kids. We were talking about rage quitting in video games, and he was saying... He was like, yeah, I used to rage quit when I was younger. Like, I used to be like, you know, like any typical guy was. He goes, my new thing is I just find the softest object I can, I just throw it. The softest object. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what if he's in the room with his kid?
Destroy the child.
He picks up the kid and he's like, sorry, bud.
Sorry, I gotta do it to him.
Gets the fucking bat out. All right, buddy. I was beating his ass. But, yeah, dude, I don't know. Part of me looks forward to hopefully having kids someday, but also I'm like, man, that's going to be my disease ball that's running around.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I'll hear a child screaming in the store, and my body instinctively removes all of my reproductive organs.
Your body goes, I'm going to put these back on the shelf.
My cock and balls fall off down my pant leg.
It's a fucking Kit Kat bar and 2 little fucking guacamole.
There's like 2 grapes roll down the aisle. 2 like withered, frail grapes.
It's actually an avocado. It hits the ground and turns to guacamole. It's like, shit, not again. You start eating it. Oh, man. So, Chris, you seem to have some Target woes. I haven't had many store encounters recently, besides that one grocery store encounter.
Really?
I had decent luck at the store. I also haven't gone a ton recently. I also feel like I've been seeing less children at stores. It's like the average age has just increased. I don't know why.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, probably.
You know, I always have bad luck at stores, especially recently for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't even get to the thing I was trying to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I need to get cat food. There was like no fucking cat food.
There never is, or litter, like ever.
Oh,
like,
and litter too. I always get the like cheap, shitty one because I'm cheap
fuck
and
the
shitty.
cat, yeah.
Yeah, the cat's he's gonna shit and piss in it. It's like
not getting gold.
I'm not gonna give him fucking, you know, the premium litter that costs $20 a bag. I'm gonna get him the like standard Fresh Step litter that's like $4 a bag.
Yeah. Same here.
And they have that one, but they had one bag and it was busted open.
Some little fucking kid walked up with a switchblade and cut it open.
Some kid with a switchblade.
Kid walks up, he's got a fucking cigarette, pokes it out of the bag, slices it open, starts eating the litter. Like, yeah, that's the little kid moment.
He just got off his shift at the construction site.
It's fucking Boss Baby 3.
Oh, man. So...
Yeah, they never have litter or cat food, though.
Cat litter,
never.
cat food. Like, I found bags at the back of the shelf. And I'm lucky enough to be tall. So, like... But even I looked around and I got up on the bottom shelf and I stood up and I had to reach all the way over.
You know it's a problem when Chris has to use something to get leverage.
And they only had the 3.5-pound bags.
That's like a day's worth of food for Chunk, dude.
I always get like the 14-pound bag or the 20-pound bag or whatever.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And I was getting the chicken one. They didn't have that one.
Chunk was probably pissed, dude.
He likes the salmon one sometimes, so I got him that one.
Does he? Yeah, yeah, Oscar's not like crazy picky. He does not like 9 lives though. You give him dry crunchy 9 lives and he like flips the shit over. It's like, the fuck is this? What is this trash?
I buy Purina 1 and I can go within that range as long as I don't get the specialty ones and he'll be fine. But if I got him the extra protein one time, shit his brains out. If I get him some other food, he's gonna shit his brains out.
Fucking cat, man.
And I don't know what it is about these particular brown morsels that just fucking really messes with his stomach.
Yeah. No, I mean, Oscar's switched to a canned diet now. He eats most of the cans.
He's bougie now.
Yeah, I don't know, he was throwing up for a while. It didn't help, but then I was like, he likes the cans. It's fine.
He can have a little can as a treat.
Yeah, I give him the nice fucking... I'm like, bro, you're EOL anyway. Like, you're into life. Let's get you the fucking, what are the little ones? Is it Purina 1? No.
The
Fancy Feast. Give him some fucking fancy feast, bro. He's got them fucking jiggle hips. As he's like, yeah,
fancy feast.
It's like every time he sees that shit, he treats it like he hasn't eaten in 30 days. And look at the fat fuck.
Well, that's my cat. Every time I give him, he goes, Father, I crave brown morsels. I crave dry crunchies. And then he eats that. And, you know, I buy this quality food for him. There's like, you know, it's no fucking Blue Buffalo or whatever the one is. That's like $20 for a 1 pound bag.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that, but it's like, it's a high quality food. It's no fucking Meow Mix.
Yeah.
Or Shitty Kitty or whatever they call it. It's, you know, it's a high quality cat food. And it's still, he's just like, if I get a slightly different quality cat food, I'm just going to be shitting liquid.
Fucking cats, man. Speaking of animals doing dumb shit, Noggin blew up. Noggin fucking exploded. Like, I don't know what his problem is.
He fucking exploded again.
He's broke again. I actually have a theory about him, too. So, Noggin, he's been a bit of a drinker, right? He's had his run-ins with alcohol, right? No, he drinks his water. Like, he would drink half a fucking bottle of water a day.
He's thirsty.
Bro was a bit of a thirsty boy. Well, that suddenly stopped. Bro didn't drink for like 3 days. So we're like,
He's storing water.
I'm like,
Like a camel.
Like, that's like, it's like a cactus. Slice him open, he starts leaking out water. You're like, oh. He just has water deposits everywhere. But, no, he just like stopped drinking to his normalness and like, fucking, like, I don't know, he was just acting strange. He just wasn't eating as much. It seemed like his teeth were bothering him. Turns out these fucking guinea pigs, they have this thing, right? They have like, you know, their teeth. Their teeth are like kind of important, right? They use it to eat.
Sometimes,
right? As you'd imagine. They just have a thing where like their teeth will just continue growing in length.
Yeah, they have to, because they have to chew shit.
Yeah.
To wear them down.
And the thing about him is he's stupid as shit and he doesn't like chewing stuff. So
the one thing you're supposed to do, you worthless rodent.
So it doesn't seem like, it seems like his teeth might be overgrown or something. So he's just been acting weird. But like, he's been fucking syringe feeding this guinea pig a pureed hay to get this motherfucker to eat. And like, I keep telling him, I'm like, we should just leave him and see. Because like, we talked to a friend of ours that's a vet from school. And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's a GI issue, there's like no fixing that. Like, it's just like the guinea pig figures it out or they die. Like, surgery ain't gonna really help. Like, he's just gonna have to figure it out. So I keep telling that to him, like, we need to truly see like what he does. If you just keep syringe feeding him, you're not gonna know what the fuck's going on. Let him like actually go a couple days of not being syringe fed and see like what he does. Does he shit? Does he not shit? Does he drink at all? A little bit? A lot? Like, what's the actual scenario? But instead, she's just been like syringe feeding him and syringe drinking his ass for like a week, and I'm like, I think he's EOL, dude.
He's EOL too, bro. You gotta bring him into the warranty,
dude. So here's where the theory comes in. He was the one that we didn't get at the pet store. He was already older. We adopted him from a family friend, and I think the family friend needed someone to take him, and no one wanted him. I think they lied about his age.
Really?
Because he was always just weirdly bigger than Jerry for like the longest time. There was this distinct time period where he was like beating Jerry's ass, and then Jerry got older and was like, nah, I'm beating your ass. Which, if you look at how guinea pigs, or really most animals function, but guinea pigs especially, that's how they go. Is the young one gets bullied, the middle one gets old, the young one gets older and beats the shit out of the old one. And that's literally how they went. It got to a point where he would bully Jerry, Jerry got older, Jerry fucked him up, and we separated them. And I'm like, okay, so we have that. We also have to realize that he has had nothing but issues. And like, sure, he could just be defective, but like...
Defective?
But like, he's had a lot of issues where they only live 4 years, so they told us at the time, oh yeah, he's like 9 months. Dude could have been like 2 years old.
He's 9 years old,
and now he's like
actually.
3.5 or 4. Like, he could just be EOL, bro.
What is it with the fucking rodents and living like in no time?
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Like hamsters, like, you know...
4 days if you're lucky.
Yeah, they'll live like 2 weeks. Rats are also like 2 years. Like hamsters are like 2 years. So it's like, what purpose do these things serve? You know?
Yeah. Besides being like fodder for street cats and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just exist to be eaten by other things.
Yeah. Well, it's like I look at Oscar. I'm like, this motherfucker. I always think about him like he's turning 13 this year. Bro could either be like at the pearly gates or bro could be another 10 years out. Like, I don't know. Like, dude could live till he's 23 or he could live till he's 14. Like, I don't know. He seemed remarkably fine in every way. So I'm like, man, is this motherfucker really gonna live till like 20?
The lifespan of different animals is very perplexing to me.
Yeah.
Like a rat lives 2 years, but like, you know, just some dumbass bird will live 80 years.
Or a fucking tortoise that's like 150.
Yeah, there's fucking tortoises alive right now that have met Abraham Lincoln, bro. And he's been dead for God knows how long. You know, I can't do the math.
Yeah,
it's too long.
Been a while though.
Like there's
at least a couple years, yeah.
And they're just old as shit. But then you go under the sea. Under the sea, there's like sea sponges and shit that live like 10,000 years.
Yeah. That's
there's
SpongeBob,
like,
yeah.
Apparently, I was reading that apparently the 4th oldest clam was found recently. And it was like 300 years old or something. The oldest clam that I learned from this article, the oldest clam ever found, was over 500 years old.
Jesus. How do they determine that? Is it through like kind of like rock formation?
They cut it open and find the rings. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, this thing looks old. Oh yeah, it's pretty old.
This might
paste it back together.
This might be the oldest clam ever found. Kill it instantly.
If that isn't the human fucking thought process, then
that might have actually happened. If I'm not mistaken, like they found the oldest of some animal and accidentally killed it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, lifespans of animals are confusing.
Yeah, you got like a dog, it's like 12 to 15 years. You got a cat, it's like 15 to 20 years. Like
you got a cat, and it's like, okay, it's got 12 years in it, or it's got like 50.
Yeah.
There's like no in between.
Yeah, humans are like usually the most consistent. It's like 70.
You got like 70 and you're done.
Yeah, 70 to 80 if you're lucky, 90. But
because like if you think about it, you know, logically, how much humans need to keep going after like 65, like they were just not meant to be that old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just like it's just weird to me. Like like you said, like guinea pigs, like they could live like 4 years. The spectrum for a guinea pig is like 3 to 8 years.
8-year-old geriatric ass guinea pig.
Jerry, the geriatric guinea pig, bro.
He's got a cane, a rocking chair on the front porch.
He's got old man strength, so like fucking Tom walks up to him and just lays him out. Just one punch whammo just to the
kills
fucking
him
teeth.
instantly.
Yeah. Fucking I don't know, man. Yeah, cats and
that fucking guinea pig keeps blowing up.
He's had like multiple eye infections, like respiratory issues. Now he's just like not doing guinea pig things. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
He still eats his veggies though.
I think he's just a dud.
You got a lemon, bro.
Yeah, just a lemon. Bring him back under the lemon law.
Under the lemon law. I got no lemon power. Here's the service records for my guinea pig.
Here's the service records. You see, he got an oil change at 5,000 miles. So.
Oh shit! No, I don't know. He's such a cute guinea pig though. They both are. Him and Jerry. They've just suddenly both become very friendly, which is good.
They're such fat little idiots though.
Yeah, you know what's really confusing? So remember when I showed you their? I don't know if I actually showed you or if I just told you, but they went to the vet and they were like, "Yeah, they're 3 ounces." I was like, "How the fuck is this thing 3 ounces?" Like, that's not right. We weighed him ourselves because Lexi was like, "Oh my god, I think Noggin is fucking dying. He's super skinny." We weighed him. He's fine. He's 2.9 pounds. Like, he was like 3 last time, according. They just wrote ounces on the paper. Turns out it was pounds.
I was just saying, because that doesn't make sense.
That's what we talked about. Was like when I told you, I was like, yeah, they're saying there's 3 ounces, but like I pick him up and he's a hefty fucker. Like
3 pounds makes more sense.
Yeah. So Jerry's actually fat as fuck because it says on the high side they should be like 3 pounds, and he's just like, yeah, I'm 3.4.
He's like 10 pounds. He's a guinea pig.
Yeah, and then Noggin's like 2.8, 2.9.
I mean, in fairness, a lot of times guinea pigs are raised for meat, so they gotta have something going on, you know.
Yeah. Can you imagine eating that little fat fuck, dude?
They look like little potatoes, so I could just like put them in the oven.
Slice them open and put them in aluminum foil.
Yeah, put a little butter in there, some sour cream. Eat it.
Oh my god, that's so fucked. It's not really fucked.
I mean, you eat other animals.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, just the thought of slicing them open and stuffing them with butter and sour cream and eating them as is, that's what's fucked.
I mean, you you do that with like a cow.
What?
Like a steak, you cut it open. You
take the meat though. You don't eat the flesh. You're not like eating his ears and shit.
You're not.
I don't.
You're not eating like an entire cow.
No, yeah, I can't say I've.
You're missing out.
Gotta get my calories in somehow. All my calories. Oh, check it out.
Eating cow hooves and.
You're more for the cow dick. I can tell you're a cow cock kind of guy.
How could you know? How do you know? How could you tell?
I can smell it on your breath.
I grab it from the store and I go like a big piece of spaghetti.
It's actually how we met. It was Lady in the Tramp style. I had one end. He had the other. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Is that all we got for this one? I think it is.
Remember when I said that, hey, we just have to vamp for these ones. We don't have a lot to say.
Yeah.
And we went through like 2 of our notes. So that's good.
It's probably a good thing. If you can't tell, this is another trifecta recording session, by the way. We're recording 137, 38, and 39.
Thanks to Jordan.
What can I say, bro?
You could say, hey, I'm gonna not do whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm gonna not have like a nice weekend away.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Dude, speaking of nice weekends away, Pat's, it was like $200 for tickets, right? For me and Let's See, not bad, right? 4 days, 2 days, 2 people, so 4 tickets essentially, right? That hotel, $800. That shit sucks, bro.
I mean, there's a big convention in town. Let's fucking crank the price of the rooms.
Yeah. Well, actually, in fairness, Pat's, so the price that did go up like $150 a night, but when you booked through Pat's, you actually get the original rate, which is kind of nice. But it's just expensive. It's a nice hotel. Like I said before, Pat's East is in Boston, so it's the I think the website says. So, seems like a nice one.
Exactly.
I'm not too familiar with that area, so.
Let everyone know exactly where you're going to be at a specific time.
What are you gonna do? It's one of the hotels on Pat's website.
Go to the hotel and murder you.
That would probably be a good thing, honestly. So it's all booked out. So I'm curious how many fucking people are gonna be there.
Oh, it's probably full house.
Probably.
I'd like to guess.
One of my favorite YouTubers is going too. So. That should be exciting. Hopefully I see him. Maybe, I'm telling you, if I see Little Kitty Big City, I'm taking a selfie with them and I'm sending it to you with a big middle finger. Just, fuck you, Chris.
If I see Little Kitty Big City, not even the devs, if I see the cat.
Dude, I just grabbed the thing. I'm like,
grab him by the scruff of the neck.
Check this shit out.
You're holding like an animated cat in real life. Check this shit out, dude. I found this fucking thing.
I fucking just stuff it in my bag. Bring it here. I'm like, so this is Little Kitty Big City.
This is the little kitty from Little Kitty Big City.
We hear how the game goes shit can because the cat went missing. I'm like, oh, fuck.
We hold the cat for ransom. We say, give us an early copy of the game.
Not even money.
Not even money. We want an early copy of the game and a free copy of the full release. And we'll give you the cat back.
And then after we play it with it, man, that fucking sucked.
That sucked, and then we go and kill the cat.
Oh my god.
Not even the people who made the games. We killed the cat.
Fuck. Anyway.
Hey, where do we put this?
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. And as always, you good? Itchy?
I had a little itch.
Itchy. Contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. It's also YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Spotify. Spotify has a video platform as well as YouTube.
Yeah.
You know Anchor changed its name.
To what?
Spotify for podcasters. I'm not even making that up. That's the new name of Anchor.
It's the real, like, meta quest moment.
Yeah. Bro, you're so meta. My ass hurts.